Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Wednesday, and we are discussing desert blooming. Desert blooming. I was gonna say desert and bloom.
The desert,
Desert
blooming.
Before we start that, I wanted you to know that I am working on grading those midterms. So I hope to have them done in the next week to 10 days.
She's working really hard.
There's a lot of them. Really appreciate all of your good writing on those. It was long writing. You all were very thorough. Good work. Somebody asked if you are expected to meet in your groups on Friday to discuss the presentation. You are not expected to meet in your groups. You should look at those slides on your own, but I do not expect you to meet in your groups. So you'll not be back in your groups until Monday after this. All right, are we ready?
Yes.
Do you want to summarize or is it my turn?
No.
It's my turn.
And it's also your turn.
Okay, it is my turn. Let's get that timer started. I've written down the names of the characters so I can try to say them properly. Interestingly, I looked up the names of where these characters' names came from. Katharos is Greek, Ibra is Bosnian, Lund had a lot of different possible things where it came from, and Dawith appears to not really be a real name. It's a video game character. So, fast facts for you. Okay.
Any mark? Get set?
Everybody lives in domes, everything outside is toxic, but they're going out and they're taking trees so they can plant them and make things grow again and beat back the desert. But also, doing archaeology in a burned city. I think they're going through our trash. Lewin is the narrator, and their parents are Katharos and Ibra, and Ibra is the botanist, and Katharos is the archaeologist, and Ibra has a research partner named Dawith, who's kind of an asshole, and they all go out and they're planting the trees, but then Lewin notices that Dawith's glove is messed up and says, Dawith, get inside! And Dawith does get inside and gets to keep their hand.
Yeah.
It helps to have their names written.
I thought it was a good call.
It was, yeah. Alright, so what did you think about the story?
I liked it. I liked the activities that happened. I liked, there was rain, and there was, fun description of, the rain wasn't rhythmic. But it was rhythmic, but, not in a steady, it was
I really like the way
cool.
that the narrator describes them in terms of, similes that would make sense in their world.
Yeah, I liked that.
It was not unlike if a spigot in the public greenhouse became unattached or something.
It was very, specific. I like crazy worlds. I spent a lot of time trying to think about, how close this world is to our world, and it seemed like it was very far away. But the other thing is that I found that if I thought about any of the things that were happening too hard, I got a little bit perplexed. I think a lot of the story I was supposed to just kind of accept and roll with it.
There was a bit of hand-waving.
Perhaps more than I would like.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things didn't necessarily even seem internally consistent.
It did seem like one of those stories, and this is something I encourage you to talk about in your groups, because we did novels, and now we're doing a bunch of short stories. And I think this is one that might have been better suited as a novel, because I feel like they needed to do a lot more world building, but in the space of a short story, it's hard to devote that much time to making all those internally consistent facts so that we can imagine it. And so we've got to just kind of roll with some of this stuff. Yeah,
there are times when you can get something that's such a different world, then you can just kind of skip the explanation, but it felt like the author was trying a little bit, but I don't know. It didn't.
And I wanted to see more of their domes.
I wanted more dome
They've got
action.
the canals and stuff, and you could fall in. But it's really...
I wanted to see more Burn City.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I've seen Waterworld. I love people ravaging through the ruins of our civilization.
Who doesn't?
Doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think there's a lot more here. Maybe it's one of those when you all read Amaryllis, that one became the book Bannerless. So maybe this one is on its way to becoming a book. That could be cool. What was your question?
So my question was whether the work of Katharos and Ibra was meaningful. So on the one hand, right, Katharos is an archaeologist, right, which is an important job and work to understand how previous civilizations lived, etc. But it seemed like their goal was not for understanding, but for actually recovery, specifically some seeds and things like that. So that seemed like a useful going back. I'm kind of trying to get more stuff, presumably for whatever sciencey things they're doing.
Possibly genetically modifying plants.
Yeah, to try to live outside of the dome. And Ibra is sort of kind of looking toward the future, like planting the modified trees, right? And the turnaround on these is pretty slow, right? So like I'm on board and all that. But what I was not sure about, right, is that Ibra is planting trees. These trees are presumably like cleaning the dirt, cleaning the air, but they've been doing this for at least seems 10,000 years.
10,000?
No,
I don't know. I mean, certainly generations. I don't know.
I thought it was 10,000. Is that not in the story?
I forgot.
I decided it was 10,000.
10,000 years.
I thought it was 10,000 years.
Okay.
Otherwise, nothing makes any sense. If it was like 12.
I don't think it's 12. Okay.
Somewhere between 12 and 10,000.
That sounds right.
It seemed a while, and it seemed like this process was going to be so slow that it really was this act of like chipping things away very, very slowly. And how they're able to, like, it's not like, oh, well, it's a paycheck, right? They're risking their lives to do this for something that they will certainly never see in their lifetime and might not even see for like, not even like their next generation, but like 20 generations, hence maybe the air will be slightly less burny, so it seems like it just made me think about like what's motivating them.
Yeah, I mean, it's really kind of the opposite of what we see in terms of people not being able to take climate change seriously as an urgent thing, because they're like, well, probably my generation's fine, my kids will be a little bit screwed, but not super screwed. Like, they're not able to think that far along, whereas these people are thinking like so many generations ahead in terms of what it is that they could accomplish.
Right. And
if it's even possible, because our narrator doesn't think this is ever going to happen. Narrator's like, Dome seem fine.
Yeah, I like Dome. Who needs sun? We have sun.
And I do wonder, this is sort of a Wall-E question. If you become accustomed to it, how many generations does it take for people to stop caring about this other goal of living outside if we're happy in our domes? Yeah. Because domes do seem self-sustaining, at least as they're described.
Yeah, there seems no urgent crisis. It's not like they're capacity constrained.
Yeah, they don't seem to mention that. We don't find out about whatever reproductive hijinks they're up to, because you know
they're up to hijinks.
They're doing something to limit their population.
Because again, it's been 10,000 years.
My question is, so what's going on with the Sunborn and the Domeborn?
Again, it's been 10,000 years.
So it seems like they might have split off into separate species of some kind. I don't know, because the Sunborn seem to be able to be outside in a way that the Domeborn don't seem to be.
Yeah, and at first I read that as just like kids today. They can't handle things. But then the rain really started to be burny.
Yeah.
And it was a real sharp contrast to the herders.
Well,
who just like go under a tent when it gets sunny.
They go under a tent when it's sunny, because it can't be the sun, or people can't be in the sun.
Yeah.
But also rain is not super good. So like, what time of day can they be out?
What also meant, like, I think the herders are the sun people, the sun herders, right? So that they're like, oh look, I'm under my tent, I'm fine.
I don't need
well here they're like, oh my god, the direct rays, it sizzles my skin. Like, there has to be something genetic. It can't just be an inner resilience.
But Ibra is from the dome, the sun people. And we learned that the narrator is a hybrid grafted onto Ibra's root, or so. I don't remember what their terminology was. But,
yeah, that seemed like it.
But Ibra also wears, like, the special suits. So I don't really know, like, to what degree they are immune to these kinds of conditions.
Yeah.
And
or maybe the herders just have, like, a lifespan of 10 years.
I mean, that's also possible.
Maybe
they're like Quakers. Maybe they grow really fast and then they're. But yeah, I just don't like. Are they considered to be like they have different belief systems? But Ibra has come to be part of Dome Society because they're with Catharos, and that's great. But like, are they the same? Are they the same species?
Yeah.
If it's been 10,000 years, they could really be like completely different species.
Yeah. Or like close enough for the grafting. But I guess no, they weren't.
Because it does seem that like there must be something physiologically quite different about them for them to be able to breathe this air without a problem.
Yeah.
And withstand at least the sun and the rain in a less like biosuit sort of way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. I think it might be a Wall-E situation.
A Wall-E situation?
I mean, actually, there's kind of a fun thing to think about, right? One possibility is maybe the Earth actually isn't that polluted. It's actually fine, and it's just all the Wall-E people.
Oh, you think they've done this to themselves?
Like themselves, they can't handle it. It's actually the Earth's actually fine.
But their hands keep getting messed up, and then Idris's hand, or not Idris, right? I keep on saying Ibra's hand got messed up that one time when the ship Alright, and we're back.
We're back.
That
was a crash.
That was a crash.
That wasn't like exposure. That was a plane crash. Or a hover crash.
a skiff.
A skiff. A solar source crash.
It wasn't a solar source. There's no solar source. Which brings us to why didn't they make solar sources in this world? If you're gonna genetically modify stuff in your dome, why would you not make a solar source?
It seems obvious.
You have to worry less about balance issues. Where do you think this takes place?
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Like, I don't. I spent a lot of time trying to think about, like, is the burn city, are we gonna get, like, a clue and, like, it's Los Angeles or something like that? Or, you know, like, oh, it's Tokyo. But, like.
The only clue that I had was they name a particular feature and it starts with an L. It's like a Linnoon or something. I know, it's not good. There's some sort of feature that the main character describes as being next to the trees, and the word's used twice, and I looked it up, and it means estuary,
Okay.
but it's primarily used in Russia, Bulgaria, and Romania. So, and we know that at least one of these names is I guess, no, Bosnian. Sorry, that was not on the list.
But, like, Northern Hemisphere?
Northern Hemisphere? Sounds like it could be Northern Hemisphere. And probably not North America.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, one of the reasons I was thinking about where this is because there's religious customs of the people, and I wondered if any of those derived or sort of split off from anything that we have.
Yeah, like the book with the bitten apple.
That's a different story.
I know, but I'm just making connections. I did have a thought about where it could be, which was that I also wondered, like, how do you make the domes? Like, again, there has to be an evolution component because, like, if the world is so toxic, right, you have to build the dome. Mm-hmm. So presumably the Sun people also would be quite different so that they could actually construct the dome.
That's true. Yeah. Well, this is Dome Story number 1. We are having, or Dome Story number 2. We're having another Dome Story next week that's going to have kind of a different feel than this one.
Is it Firewall?
It's Firewall. There's another Dome Story coming up. And we can talk next week about which of these domes is more inviting to outsiders. All right, so I have no further announcements for you, and we will not be doing a video on Friday. So
we'll miss you.
We will miss you, but have a great. I guess it's early to wish you a great weekend, but since we will not see you, we never see you.
Isn't every day the weekend? Because no day is the weekend.
They're all the same. Okay, well, we'll be back on Monday. Don't forget to look at the slides on Friday.
Oh, don't forget to register for classes.
Oh, do register for classes, for sure.
That's a thing that's happening, unless you're graduating, in which case.
What are you teaching in the fall?
I'm teaching economic development and econometrics.
I'm teaching Harry Potter. So depending on your preferences, get looking at that course registration list.
Economic development is going to be awesome. It's always an interesting class, and now I don't even know what we're going to do.
Are you going to look at how COVID affects economic development in developing countries?
I mean, the short answer is poorly, but we might add some nuance. Depends how fast people without children are writing papers this summer.
That's true.
It'll be topical.
It will be topical. And Harry Potter is going to be pretty chill. It's going to be a pretty chill class. Maybe we'll do Harvard again. Could be fun. All right. We've been talking for a long time, and you've been listening for a long time, so we will see you all later.